Okay, so I've just attached my sensor, ready for tomorrow. I will probably look at some data today just to see what I'm doing on just a random day, and then we'll start tomorrow. Good morning. I don't know if this is the best angle. You can probably really see it up my double chin, but this is what we're gonna do. This is actually my first check-in, right? Hi, it's day 2. Well, it's my first full and my only full day of fast today. So I'm doing 48 hours. I stopped eating yesterday at around 2:20 p.m. So this is what we're doing. I have my lumen that I'm using to measure my breath, which I might actually do now because I measured it in the morning and I'm not sure whether it was wrong or not. So let's see what it says now. This is basically a device that I measure my metabolic flexibility with.
Inhale deeply through your lumen. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
This is so interesting. So I woke up, considering I've been fasting for about 17 hours. I am burning mostly carbs. So I woke up on number 5, which is the highest sort of carb usage. And I went to bed on a 3, which is like right in the middle. So it's so interesting that 17 hours in and I am burning carbohydrates, right? I did a little walk, so now it's like come back to 4, but I couldn't believe it. I mean, the exercise definitely helped use up most of my carbohydrates or glucose. So yeah, I think the aim, let's see whether we can get to 1, which I'm hoping that we will, because it means that I enter ketosis. The only problem is I did a leg workout. I did a CrossFit session on Thursday and my legs. I haven't felt this pain in a very long time and I struggle to do anything. When I'm walking, my legs feel like rocks. I literally, even after like walking for an hour, like nothing helps, even if I move them. So that's that. I've been dealing with that, considering I'm not eating now, so the recovery is just gonna be through sleep. Talking about sleep, I slept 9 hours. I think my body needed it, and I'm so glad I did. I still woke up at 6:15, but I did go to bed like 9:30ish. Yesterday, just before I was going to bed, like those 2 hours, and I never really usually eat late, but I had cravings. Not necessarily cravings, it was more like, oh, should I order a takeaway? It'd just be really nice. And like these moments of weakness where if you don't really stop and think about what your brain is telling you, you would easily give in. And I was like this close. I was like, maybe let me find another 2 days that I could do really easily. Don't listen to it. Just keep going. I haven't had any coffee whatsoever, so today I'm going to work. Good thing and bad thing. Good thing, I'll have coffee on tap. Wonderful. Bad thing, I'll be surrounded with donuts. Now, this is where the real test will start. Once I'm like past the 24 mark, I feel really good. Usually. We'll see if that's the case. I've been really struggling with some fatigue these days. I've been really active. I have so much to do and I feel like fatigue hits me really quickly. And I just hope I can make it through the day. And I hope after the 24 hours, and maybe after a coffee, my energy just kind of flips. And the more I enter in ketosis and the more I see that number go down, it'll become easier, right? Also, if you saw yesterday, I attached my glucose monitor, so we could do that too quickly and have a look what it's saying. So this is like really easily scannable like this. So 4.2, I'm gonna show it on the screen now. My glucose has been really steady. Obviously during the sleep, like this is nighttime that you're pretty much seeing. It dropped, but then around, this is exactly the time that I woke up. As you can see, just before 6, my glucose started rising, which is the beauty of having circadian rhythm, is that just before you wake up, your glucose will start rising. It just kind of initiates this whole waking up process. My glucose has been steady since I've woken up, right? There are no spikes, no dips. I'm gonna do another screenshot. What my day looked like when I was eating, my glucose going up and down, up and down. I could really feel it like by the end of the night, where you can see like the biggest crash. That's where I suddenly had those cravings, where my glucose was dropping and I was like, oh, I need that energy. And it was literally around those 7 to 8 to 9 o'clock, which is where you can see the graph dropping. But then during the night, it was like super low, which was interesting that when I woke up to see that my body was burning carbohydrates. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated during the day. I can't wait to have a coffee. I haven't really hydrated, which is one of the problems that I usually have. So I'm gonna go and do that now. I'll check in with you later today. Okay, so it's my first coffee. This is so good. I'm sorry for the background. What I'm feeling like now is what I usually get when I stop fasting for a longer period of time, is I get cold. Because food just naturally warms you up, like the metabolism fires up when you eat. So I'm getting cold. So I'll probably be drinking some other teas during the day. Currently I am about 21 hours in, and let's check what my glucose is saying. 4.3. So it's pretty steady. In the morning time when I was coming to work, it did drop just under 4. This is where I felt the most hungry. So as soon as it goes into that red zone that you'll see on the screen, I do feel hunger. The thoughts about food are quite present. It is crazy how much we think about food on a daily basis. At least I do. I'm a big foodie. I enjoy it. I love making healthy versions of things, like having a treat as well. And it's technically only 48 hours, but your brain is just like, where's the food? Where's the food? We're not even 24 hours in. This is just shocking. I'll just see you back when we hit 24 hours, because that will be a milestone. We'll be halfway, right? So I could do a little happy dance. We're over halfway. I've done about 25 hours now, but for some reason it has been super hard this time around. I feel like maybe if I was at home doing a lot of work and just do like a deep dive into editing or filming content, it might be easier, but I'm constantly thinking about food. And my brain just keeps sabotaging me with thoughts like, oh, just have something. Why don't you eat this? Or like, maybe we just cut it short. But then I'll go through phases where I'll be like, that was absolute nonsense. I am completely fine. I don't need food. I can definitely last the 48 hours. I will show you some of the data that I've collected so far at 25 hours. Yeah, to the finish line, right? It's been a long day, and I mean long. All I want to do is just get into bed. It's not even 10 p.m. yet, so we're around 31 hours in, and although I feel like I'm not hungry now, and I'm not tired, but all I want to do is just lie down and sleep and just wake up tomorrow with more hours added to this fast. But before we go to sleep, I thought I'll check in. Overall, though, my brain's not working. Usually I would have exercised on a regular day, probably every single day. Today, my only exercise was standing for 12 hours, probably even more. And I did a 2-hour walk, which is, still really efficient. So what we're going to do is we'll see where our metabolism is at. Still on 3. Dang. I definitely feel all sort of shifts happening in my body. I could probably cut the fast now and still get sort of the same amount of benefits. But we're going to stick through it. We're going to see what's going on. Yeah, 4. But my whole day, and I'll show you the graph, has been super flat. So I'm just going to wash my face and just get into bed. Good morning. So, final day, final hours. It's 7 a.m., which means that we have 7.5 hours left, just under 7. I'm not hungry, but I'm a little bit lightheaded, and my head feels like a rock. It's like I was drinking last night. Is that kind of feeling. I didn't sleep very long. What doesn't help is that my legs are still hurting. I'm not hungry, which is great. Although I would love to eat for all these other side effects to go, and I think that's the tempting thing right now, because I feel a little bit lightheaded. I feel like I have to run a lot of errands before 48 hours are up, and I want those to be very, very sufficient. This time around, I don't feel extremely energetic. Usually about this time, I feel like I can achieve a lot of things. I haven't had coffee either, and I don't know if I'll have it today, which could probably help me with the whole lightheadedness. But we're working with what we've got. My glucose levels have been extremely low. 3.7, and the whole night you can see it's been super steady. If the night before I kind of went like this a little bit, last night yeah. Can you tell that I can't even function?
Many months later.
It's been 6 months since I filmed that video. I'm actually crying because it's so funny. But I really wanted to finish it. And I'm sitting here today having my coffee. And I was like, let's do it today. I think it shows perfectly of how imperfect a long fast can be, even for, experienced practitioners. Now, there aren't many studies with fasting and women, your hormones and the time of the month. There are so many different variables, and you will end up having a completely different experience every single time you do it. I finished the fast around 43-hour mark, which at the time seemed like a failure. But looking back at it now, I would probably say it was more to me like a 48-hour plus fast. Now, what I mean by that is that we all have a personalized sweet spot for when the benefits of a fast peak for us, right? Depending also what are the benefits that you're after, because mine would be maybe completely different to yours. And that is the spot where we want to cut our fasts, where we want to stop and gain all the benefits without hitting the downhill, really. So I'm glad that I stopped my fast when I did it. I was so exhausted. Now, I remember that experience so well, even 6 months later. And I don't even think it reads so well on the camera, but I wasn't having a good time. Oh my God, that one day I decide to film and we get a wasp in the house. Now, there is a great post on social media that always gets reposted by many biohackers, and I think it's such a fantastic breakdown on fasting. So if you're ever in doubt, give it a read. That wasp, let me let it go. Hello, it's Editing Sabine. Now, the wasp was saved, and then I continued on filming the video, and it turns out my microphone died. So I still wanted to give you the best data that I had collected. And there's a reason why I wore my glucose monitor and measured my metabolic flexibility through my breath. Now, this is so exciting. I am such a geek. I broke my fast with a half a cup of bone broth. And then before I hit my workout at 12 o'clock, I had some pre-workout. Now, the workout that I did was metabolic conditioning, so it was a mixture of moderate to high intensity stuff. And this is what my glucose monitor picked up. While my fast had definitely increased my insulin sensitivity, which is a good thing because you want your body to know and understand what to do with insulin, none of those two drinks, in my opinion, would have done that. And I'm talking about that massive spike. I have never caught data like this, and this is the highest my glucose has ever been that I've captured, which is super cool because we kind of get to learn together and figure out what the hell is going on. What I believe happened is that my body responded really well to the circumstances that I was in. Now, even if my glucose stores were completely depleted during my fast, there's always plenty stored in the liver. Our bodies are amazing. They will have a backup for the backup. So what I believe happened is that after my 48 hours, I hit this grueling workout, my adrenaline increases, my cortisol increases, and my body goes, survival, which meant that it prompted my liver to release stored glucose in the form of glycogen to allow me to survive. But I'm actually very curious to see what your opinion on that is, whether that has ever happened to you before. Because to have that amount of spike, I have never seen anything like that. Anyway, so comment down below if you have any ideas what that could have been affected by. And if you have any other video requests, let me know. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell just to be notified of any other videos, and I shall see you in the next one. Mwah.